Well, howdy, boys and girls. Love Them Knives channel. LTK here. What's going on? We've got the Hornet from Bestech. What a knife! Yeah, I like it. I like a lot of things about this. I will give you the link to the 2018 SHOT Show with Bestech that I did because I handled this knife, not this exact knife, in that video. And at the time, they weren't for sure they were going to do the production, although Solina, who is the lady in that video, she and her husband are sitting at that table. Her husband's the designer and also, I think, head of QC. And if I had his card, I'd tell you his name. But and she knew English better, so she was doing the talking. It's weird how the woman's always doing the talking. In any case, so yeah, this is an interesting knife. It's a D2 steel blade. It's a titanium anodized backspacer. Interesting that they throw that in there. I really like that. I think it's really classy. I added the lanyard, by the way. I was looking around the house and I thought, I'm going to take some Instagram pictures of this. And you know what? This is one of those, well, actually in that SHOT Show video that I did in Vegas in January, they had a lanyard on it, I believe. And I thought, well, you know what? This thing really begs for a lanyard. See that? It's an open lanyard hole, basically. But, yeah, it kind of, and they've really dedicated a lot of space to that, too, come to think of it. That might be something we'll talk about here. Nice grind on this blade. D2 steel. Is it sharp? Will it cut something? It will if you put it to paper. So, yes, it's good. Oh, I got this knife actually on loan from Stasa 23. They're not in the stores yet. They're not for sale, but they will be soon. The action's wonderful. Let me just tell you that. The action's wonderful. On this one, middle finger flick, not a problem. And I'm sure you can thumb flick it open if you want as well, which means the detent's not that strong. It's like a number 5. And let me get the lanyard out of the way. Yeah, it's about a 5. It's not that strong. You can gravity flip it and that kind of thing. Nice big choil up front. Lots of jimping. Look at this thing. Is this insane? Okay, so where is there not jimping on the knife other than the cutting edge of the blade? I mean, seriously, you got traction at least, whether you really want to call that jimping or not. And then here in the thumb ramp along the top of the stainless steel scales, which are skeletonized, G10, nice green and black, comes in different colors, jimping along here, the titanium backspacer, jimping under here. And, gee, they didn't jimp along the lock bar pass-through area. That's amazing. How did they not do that? And you know what? No jimping on the flipper tab. Really? Okay, so let's jimp everywhere. Hey, how about the flipper tab? No, let's not do that. That might make sense. Crazy. Although this does deploy so easy. Yeah, that's not a problem. Man, this is more of a flipper toy than anything else. But it cuts, and it's structurally very rigid here because you have these exposed stainless steel liners. I mean, that is so nice to have. Sometimes you get these knives with the FRN scales, and then they inset the liners into them, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel as like you know, just as rigid in that way. And I don't know if I got anything that I can kind of give a for instance. Well, like the Modus from China, right? So that's, you know, that's got those steel, but they don't show, right? They're buried in the FRN scales. Guess that must have been what I was thinking about. In any case, so yeah, I like that. There's a lot of rigidity there. There's a lot of structural, you know, rigidity to it, I guess. Yeah, I kind of like this lanyard, but I'm going to take it off when I send it back to Stasa. Because he's not going to get my lanyard, because I plan on getting one of these. And guess what's going to go on it? Right, buddy? Yeah, it is. And so, yeah, these are cool knives. I really like them. They're so easy to open and close. Not as big as I'd like, you know, but I like maybe 3 1/4, but it's almost 3.5-inch blade. Not quite, 3 3/8. So 85 maybe millimeters, and overall 7 3/4. So not even quite 8 inches. Not quite, maybe about 20 centimeters. So as far as the comparison to the PM2, PM2 is a bigger knife. The blade on the PM2 is not much bigger. It's pretty doggone close. Really, the overall lengths, and this is 8 1/4, and this is shy of 8, but you know, a few ticks shorter. But this one's lighter. I think the PM is like maybe under 4 ounces. In fact, you know, just for jollies, let's do that right now. Come to think of it. Okay, so 108 grams on the PM2. And I'm not going to try and weigh the lanyard here. 157. So at 157, and let's go units. 5.5. 3.8. Yeah, I figured this was about 3.8. I weighed it before. So this is heavier and a little bit shorter than the PM2. But you know, it's a beastly little beast. It's a chunk of meaty little change. It's not a big knife, but you can go forward here. It's very sharp. It's not a piercing champion, but definitely slicer. Look at the grind going real high up there. Super big, comfortable choil. So even if you have Mongo hands, you can still somehow fit them all on here. And it's not bad. My hands are not tiny by any stretch of the imagination, but you know. And then the thumb ramp, this is comfortable. Stasa and I talked on the phone. Yeah, he goes, gee willikers, LTK. Yeah, there's the landing zone for your finger. You know, it's like Death Valley there, right? I mean, rocky shores. And, you know, I didn't have the knife in my hand yet. And he goes, okay, so, yeah, I mean, it would have been better had they not had the jimping that far back. And he says, but it's not real sharp, aggressive stuff. And really, if you look at this, it's not. It's pretty smooth. This stuff is here. So, I mean, I've sat around and flipped this thing. I shouldn't say that. How much I have flipped this thing. Never mind, Stasa, don't listen to me. So, yeah, and it hasn't bothered me. It really hasn't bothered me. So, yeah, I guess it could get a little annoying after a while. But no, I mean, I think really all they probably needed was probably these front two. And this third one kind of mates up with part of this on the thumb ramp. So really these 1, 2, 3 pieces in here, and they could have skipped the 3 in the back. They could have. You know, where I'm landing is just right there. So 1, 2, 3. These right here, if they'd have got rid of them. Now, you can push button. This thing really flips so well. With the ceramic bearings are really good on this knife. Yeah, I mean, these are ceramic bearings here. You can see, and you get a D-shaped pivot tube, so that's nice. There's your titanium backspacer, and then of course your ceramic detent. And they skeletonized this, and unfortunately the blade's laying there, so you can't see the skeletonized the liners on the other side. There's your lanyard hole thing there, and there they match up there. That kind of thing. What you think? Yeah. Oh, you know, they do come in different colors. So the green I really like. Now I do. I like the green better, but that red, I know I'm going to have one in my Bestech collection. I just like the Hornet so much. I mean, it was like pretty much the favorite knife on the table for me at that SHOT Show. So, and this looks studly hanging out the side of your pocket right there. But yeah, everybody seemed to like it. The people on Instagram wanted to buy these knives, and they weren't available. They're not available at the airing or at right now as I'm talking. They're not at the retailers yet, but they will be very, very soon. So give it a week or so, and it'll be out there. Pocket clip works really good. I definitely put it in and out of my pocket a few times. Yeah, it's really a good looking knife. There's lots of traction here. This is not real sharp and aggressive. This is really easy to disengage, this lock bar, even though they didn't put any, you know, it's kind of like they jimped everything except putting a little bit of jimp there to catch your thumb, which, I mean, the two places I think on a knife I would probably jimp is number one, the flipper tab, and number two, probably this pass-through area a little bit so that your thumb catches that, but that's pretty easy to get to, you can see. So really, it's not a big deal. The flipper tab would have been nice, but it's very intuitive and it's kind of up there and easy to get to. So that's not a huge issue either, actually. I do have some things that I would change on this knife, that if I could wave a wand and change them, I would do that. First of all, I would take this lanyard hole and move it. I'd move it up here to the top and run it right through this titanium backspacer. And let me show you. Let me show you something. Okay, hold on. Everything's linked together here. But like I sent Stasa this picture, and I'm going, they already drilled a hole through here. They already drilled a hole through the titanium backspacer. That's where I'd put the lanyard. Now, I would move the blade out further, and I wouldn't worry about this. I would cover that. You know, I'd just bring my scale all the way across here. The lanyard hole would be up here. Or you could even have like kind of come out a little bit on your lanyard, rolled it over, you know, and had it up in the air. And I wonder if I got a knife kind of like that. In a way, kind of like the other Bestech knife, the Rhino. But I mean, they could have just kind of and then gone over and left a lanyard hole up there if they wanted to. And that way, you could put the blade. See how close that blade, it almost touches the tip of my finger. Okay? Look at this blade. It's a long way away, brothers and sisters. But you know what? They got to do that because of that. They don't want to cut through the lanyard cord because that's where they put the lanyard hole. See? And so I thought, wow, this is going to look really disproportional. But to tell you the truth, and Stasa was talking about that too, and then I go, you know, but no, it's not really, because this is more disproportional than this is. I mean, this has a 4.5-inch handle. This has got a 5-inch handle, but the blades are about the exact same length. So, I mean, this is way more disproportional. And, there's been a couple people buy these. It's called a paramilitary too. Just saying. It's weird. Fancy, get out of here. But yeah, so that's not that disproportional. I guess part of the funky of that look, when it's all the way down, it looks like you got like an inch here, but you really don't, because see, now if this thing sat up a little taller, but see, that's all in the design thing, and I don't know. So, I mean, I was just telling them I'd move the lanyard hole over to here. I'd bring this blade out further because, check it out, right? You can bring this blade out further without even doing anything to this backspacer. But you can modify this backspacer, bring it out, maybe even hook your lanyard hole out in here like it did on the Rhino, and then you can pull this blade out further or make the handle shorter so you don't have this gap. This gap bothers me a little bit. But it has to be here for that. So I understand. And the blade's centered and everything. So I'm niggling. Actually, the action on this, I don't care. I still got to have one, right? I still got to have a green one, maybe a red one. Don't know what lanyard I'm going to use for the red one, but these things are begging for a lanyard. And so that's why I've got it here. But yeah, even with my niggles on here, I think I still think this is a huge winner. Here's my 3 favorite Bestechs in short of the titanium models, right? That, of course, the Swordfish. I mean, that's just an automatic. Gotta have it. And, of course, the Rhino, which makes no sense at all, but I love it because it's just a beast. I mean, it's just a Brutus of a beast of a little knife. And, see? That kind of stuff. How crazy is that stuff? Actually, the Hornet's the smallest of the bunch. I mean, this thing is fat. This thing is a fat dog. We're not reviewing you, dude. How much is that? Oh my God, that's 18. That's 0.7. That's 7/10 of an inch thick. No wonder. I mean, this one's just 0.6 of an inch, 0.62, which is still 15.6 millimeters. I mean, and poor old Fancy here, she's like Slenderella. She's like 0.46. So this thing's definitely fatter. This thing's definitely fatter. And this thing. And so these 3 knives also, you can kind of tell my preference. These are all 3 Bestech knives that have their liners showing. They're not embedded inside the scale. So they just feel a lot tougher. And they're just badasses, all of them. What do you think? I mean, those are my 3 favorite. And so this is the only one missing in my actual that I own, because I own that and that. But I don't own this one yet. But you can bet your ass I'm gonna. I'm definitely gonna. Good looking knife. Sharp, out of the box. The action's incredible. Ceramic bearings. Ceramic detent ball. Pocket clip makes sense. Absolutely. Oh, crap. Oh, there's no left-hand option for this one. Oh, that's too bad. I don't know why they didn't, though. Well, with the right kind of little drill and everything, not with the bend of that, though. I don't know if you could flip that. I'm not sure. That might be awkward. Okay, but in any case, yeah, right hand. There's a lot of right-hand only stuff out there, isn't there? Hermanos, yeah. But in any case, I like them. These are 3 of my winners for sure. I'm excited about it. I think I gotta have the red and the green. It would be nice if they would, change, because this would be awesome. I really would have. I know it's like 5.5 ounces, and that's a chunk for a knife no bigger than this, compared to like the Para, which is 3.8. But It's not that bad. But 3 3/4 inch blade, bring it out to the end of here, put the lanyard hole up here. I think it'd be even better. But there's nothing wrong with the way it is, as it is, the way it's designed. I understand how it is. It's a great action. This thing's a hell of a... It's well put together. I really like it, though. I do. All right. Flanagan, what do you think? We got one green knife over here. Buddy, what are you doing? You reading the paper there? What's the deal? At least you're not online anymore. That's been bothering me. All right. We're going to let you go. Hey, take care, guys. Hey, I appreciate you hanging in with me. It's fun. Bestech's got some really good products. Oh, I'm seeing they've got some new ones coming out. A little slip joint one. And then pterodactyl. Is that the name of it? It's a titanium with carbon fiber in it. It's a bigger knife. So we'll get our hands on that and talk about that too. But Bestech, good people. Good knives. I sure like them. Thank you so much for joining me. You know what we do around here. We love them knives, so stay sharp.